Yes, hello. All right, thanks for tuning in. Adrian here, business coach, social media strategist, and lifestyle entrepreneur. Today, I would love to try and entertain this idea of listening to your inner voice, right? How to tap into your gut instincts and how to learn better ways, how to identify the voices, okay? I'm going to do my best to explain this because this is a question that I get asked a lot within my coaching, within my training, and I've been working this morning. I've been to the gym and I've gone to the cafe. I've had a couple of moments to think about this and to diarize a few things. So I've got my notes here to try and help you as best as I can. If you're online, then simply say hello. Get the likes across the screen there. You can smash that button as many times as you possibly can. So let me know that this is something that you like as well, okay? So say hello. I'm going to get stuck into this. This is a kind of interactive. I've loved this to be as interactive as possible. So here we go. Ready? All right. So your gut to me is, in my training and what I've learned, is that it's your authentic self. Okay. So it's the true you, the inner you. So when people say trust your gut, it has that saying. To me, it's the authentic self. Okay. So everyone says listen to your gut. The trouble is that it sometimes gets confusing for most people to distinguish the difference between the ego's voice and their authentic self, or the gut. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that I've used to help me. And my good buddy Scott Franklin, who we do a number of trainings last year, and this year we're going to be doing a lot of training that is going to help people in this space. That's who I learned all this stuff from. Okay, so here we go. The ego, mind you, is a very cunning thing. Okay, and it can easily disguise itself as authentic self. So it's kind of like you can have troubles and you can have decisions that you need to make. You need to find out which way you want to go, left or right. Whatever it is, a business decision, something critical, and the thing is that the ego can get involved and it can actually play tricks on your mind. So it disguises. You're like, man, I went with my gut and I made the wrong fucking decision. Why is that? It's simply because the ego snuck in there. It masked itself as your gut, and you made the wrong decision. To me, in my coaching and my learning, the authentic self, the gut, is never, ever wrong. Okay? The gut is only right 100% of the time. All right. Here we go. Let's, for those of you playing at home, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you to pay attention to where you hear the answer to these questions, okay? And when you hear the answer to the questions, wherever that is, I want you to write that in the comments, all right? Now, here's question number 1. Question number 1 is what is 2 plus 2? Okay. So in the comments below, write down whereabouts in your mind, in your body, did you hear that answer? What is 2 plus 2? Okay. Next question. Do you love your family? All right. So just pay attention. The question is, do you love your family? Whereabouts in your body do you hear that question? Okay. So I can see some of you are already playing here. That's awesome. Scotty, you're a legend. You're tuning in. I love that. So for me, when I get asked the question, what is 2 plus 2? I hear the answer in here. Okay. So in my head is where I hear the answer. Ego kind of lives in the head, right? So it also causes problems, but it also can solve problems as well. Like there's times where you can use the ego for good. It's not necessarily all evil. When I ask the question, do I love my family? When I answer that question, I feel that in my heart. Okay, right here. So I either feel it in my chest, heart, or somewhere around my gut, around my sternum. So is where I hear this. Okay. So, you with me so far? All right, is this good? All right, write your answers in the comments below. Okay, number 2, the distinguishing difference between ego and authentic self is ego mostly lives in thought And to me, the authentic self shows itself in pictures. So this is where a lot of people really have a challenge, because there's blockages between authentic self, the true them, and their head or their ego, which is typically being for want of a better word, manipulated and brainwashed over the years. Okay, so you've learnt values and beliefs that have been adopted, typically from the people that are closest to you. You've modeled that to your own life, but without ever understanding what your true values are. So that's another training that we can get into. All right, so for me, I'm looking at my notes here. I only just wrote them this morning, right? The ego mostly lives in thought. The authentic self lives in pictures. So when I am thinking in ego, then the thoughts that come into my head is like, you're not good enough. What if you fail? That person's going to do the wrong thing by you, all that kind of stuff. When I'm thinking an authentic self, when I feel those, when I'm in tune, then I'm in pictures. So I think of visions in the future. So when I think about, say, a program that I'm going to create, I have a vision of the auditorium. I have a vision of how many people are going to be in there. I have a vision of people applauding me for my work. I have a vision of people signing up for my programs, right? So it's all positive, all authentic. Okay, when the ego creeps in, the ego says, what if no one buys? What if it costs you a fortune? What if you get made fun of? All that kind of stuff. So that's ego fighting. I always listen to the authentic self. Okay, ego is in thought. Authentic self will show up in pictures. All right, here's a very, very critical part to identifying your authentic self, your gut instincts, your inner voice, as opposed to your ego, which is messing with your mind most of the time, okay? The answers that you seek are behind the emotion that you're feeling. All right, let me explain. This is, it sounds a bit woo-woo, and particularly from a guy, I know how this is going to come across, okay? So, when I feel like I'm out of alignment, when I'm not intuitive, when I'm not trusting my gut instinct, when I feel like I'm, all in ego and I'm making the wrong decisions, then I ask myself what emotion that I'm feeling. So I'll give you something that's recent for me is, I ask myself the emotion that I'm feeling is overwhelmed. Okay, I'm feeling overwhelmed. So then I ask the emotion, what is the problem that I need to solve here? What's the solution to this problem, right? So if I just say overwhelmed, like what is, and it sounds so simple, but it's like just unbelievably effective, okay? And again, Scotty, I know you're still tuning in, which is awesome. And Scott and I, we do this training. We are changing lives with this training. This is game-changing material, right? So you simply ask the emotion, what's the problem? Like, what's going on here? So if I say to myself, overwhelmed, what's going on here? What do I need to solve? Then my authentic self will basically say to me, well, you've got too many unfinished things. At the moment, if you start to close off a few of these things that you've been doing and start sealing a few things off, then you'll feel less overwhelmed. If you start to manage your time better, if you get less distracted, then you will feel less overwhelmed. All right. If you get more sleep, you'll feel less overwhelmed. Okay. So are you with me on this? This is game-changing type of stuff. It's going to sound very, very simple and very what's this guy on about? Trust me, just start to do this. Practice makes professionals. At the end of the day, if you keep practicing these methods that I'm teaching you, you will feel more authentic. You will feel more in tune. You will feel more alive, and you'll be able to make better decisions all of the time with your family, with yourself, with your work, with your career, with business, anything in life. You'll be able to make 100% accuracy 99% of the time. Okay, so let's put a little 1%er in there. There's obviously places that you can go wrong. To me, they're just lessons, and I need to understand that that's a lesson I needed to learn in order to get to the next place. Okay, let me run you through these things again. I want you to comment in the comments box below what you hear here. So this is how to tap into your gut, how to listen to your inner voice, how to be more authentic, how to be more intuitive. Right? These are things that you can use in every area of your life. Okay. Number one, listen to where you hear these answers. 2 + 2 Where do you hear the answer? All right? And do you love your family? All right? Where do you hear the answer? Okay? Number 2, here we go. The ego mostly lives in thought. So the ego is you're not good enough, you'll never amount to anything, what if you fail, all that kind of stuff. That's all ego, lives in the head, right? The authentic self, it lives in pictures, in images, okay? So when you see success in the future, it'll show up as an image. When you see that it's the right decision, it'll show up as an image. If you can tap into that visual, then it will be something that will serve you. Even if you want to, you can go into the past and you can see a vision of the past of something that has made you light up, has made you come alive. You know, if you're trying to find your purpose in life, passion and purpose, if you can't cast your mind forward, then you cast your mind back, right? The answers are within you. All right. Number 3, the answers that you seek are behind the emotion. They're hidden behind the emotion. You simply ask, what is it you are feeling right now? And then you ask the emotion to show you the problem that you need to solve. Okay? Sounds very simple, very, very effective, game-changing training. Okay. If you've liked that, then please send the thumbs up across the screen, send the hearts across the screen. If you know anyone who could use this information, please tag them in the comments below or share this on their newsfeed, because the more and more that we can get this information out there, then the better we can serve the world. Until we meet again, I'll see you on the next video.